welcome back to my channel. It's Lolo for those of you who didn't already know. So,
hi! My name's Akubeze.
I'm here with Aku. Obviously, you guys know Aku from the vlog, from the other vlog, from YouTube, from Instagram, everything. So today we just decided to film a couple of videos for you guys. So before you watch this video, make sure you watch our video on Aku's channel.
Yeah.
We are talking about being yellow.
Yeah.
We're talking about, you know, the benefits and the pros and cons of being like light-skinned and yellow in Nigeria. And today we have another Nigeria-ish vlog, and we're talking about what we learned since moving here. Whether or not we think it was a mistake, if we regret moving,
And advice that you need to know,
advice before you come here, before you move. I mean, I wouldn't say before you move to Africa, but before you move to Nigeria for sure. So obviously, as you guys know how Make Up Your Mind goes, we are gonna get made up while we make up our minds.
Ooh.
Okay, so let's get started.
Yeah.
So we've done our foundation because, you know, cutesies and all that. So yeah. So my first question for you is, when did you move back to Nigeria?
I moved back in 2016, right after doing my master's. I did A-levels, uni, master's, so 2016 I moved back. In the middle of my dissertation, in fact.
Okay, so we've been back for about the same amount of time.
Yeah, we moved back at the same time, but we moved back to law school, yeah.
So would you say a lot has changed since you moved back and now?
Has a lot changed? I feel like obviously it was different because we moved back to work, so that was even like outskirts of town. I don't feel like I was really getting the proper Nigerian experience. We were all in our own little bubble. We always say that it was kind of like boarding house. And then even when you guys left and came to Lagos to continue law school, I stayed back in Warri. So I feel like it's different, definitely, because now I'm actually on road. Like, I know what's going on in the streets, yeah. But I don't know if it's just because I was in Warri at the time that
you feel like.
Yeah, I feel like it's different.
Okay. What's the best thing about moving to Nigeria? Like, what is something that you see that no matter how bad it gets here, you're glad for X?
No matter how bad it gets here, I'm glad for the fact that like I'm from here. Like, I don't know, like this is my home. I always feel at home in Nigeria. So it's like my family,
I don't know.
Yeah, my family lives in Port Harcourt, so I can't really use family for me because it's not as if I live where my family actually lives. Well, my sister is here, in all fairness. But you guys, like, if you don't know me, I've been all over. I'm cross country. I'm Lagos, Port Harcourt.
Tell them a little about where in Nigeria you've actually lived.
Okay, so I grew up in Port Harcourt. I did secondary school in Lagos, then traveled abroad, A-levels up until masters, then moved back to Abuja. Then literally just this January, I moved to Lagos. So, you know, that's been it for me. But so I feel like, you know, I just feel at home. Like, I feel like I don't feel looked down on, I don't feel uncomfortable. You know, in like England, if you're going out or something, I think that used to be the worst part for me, like going to clubs and stuff, like, you know, you'll be thinking, how will I get in, or they'll be getting, or, you know, you just feel somehow, like,
yeah, you feel like you're
whereas I'm like, okay, if I'm at the gate, I'm like, dude, don't you know me, like, by now, like, yeah, what of you?
I mean, I moved back same time as you, obviously, as you guys know. And for me, like, my whole family is here, so it's a completely different experience. My mom, my dad, my sisters, except my brother who's still in school. So like, I spend a lot of time with my family, and I think that's what helps me here. Like, I still eat my cooking from home, all that stuff. So like, it's good. But I wanted to ask you specifically whether you felt living in Lagos was more expensive or living in Abuja.
What? Lagos is 100 times more expensive. Like,
really?
There are some days I could go in Abuja without spending any money because I don't know, I just feel like there's just always something to do in this Lagos. So even if it's fuel or like that you're buying, you know, food or something, there's a new place to go and shop, or there's just always something in Lagos. Whereas in Abuja it's a bit more chilled. So it's not every day I have to go out. It's not every day I have to top up my fuel or something. Like Abuja is just, and things are even just generally cheaper. Like pasta that I'll buy for 8k in Lagos is like 4k in Abuja, and I've
heard that food is cheaper in Abuja.
Food is
I don't really
cheaper.
remember, but when I lived there I wasn't really in Abuja.
Yeah, we're in Bahrain now,
like,
so
I feel like food is definitely cheaper in Abuja. Okay, well, I mean, what I wanted to really focus on was more like, I feel like when people are coming to Nigeria, it's usually for their biggest concerns are like jobs and finances and friendships. So what are the essentials for going out? Like, what would you say as a Nigerian, like, you need to know if you're going out in Nigeria? I would always say, don't move out on your G's. You can't go out on your own.
Do you know what I was just about to say? What is an essential? I was going to say is a man. Babe.
It's not even a man, a friend.
Is a man. And do you know how people noticed it more in Lagos? They are so sexist. If we go to a club, nobody is expecting us to even be able to buy table. So they're already
okay.
Like, do you get? I feel like if you're moving with a man that's going to buy a table, you're getting more respect. Even the other day, I had vlogged it on my channel. I went to RSVP and they told me the kitchen was closed.
Okay.
Next thing, my friend now came. Kitchen automatically opened.
Wow.
And it's like, really, even the table, they had given us one table, and like they didn't ask us.
Like basically,
exactly, they were treating us anyhow. Then once the guy came, and I feel like I've noticed it, like, you know, I feel like obviously men have more spending, no, I'm not saying obviously because things are changing, but men typically have had more spending power, so they get more respect when you're out than you. Even see that thing now yesterday at the parking, we were trying to
when we went to try to park. Okay, we
went out, we were trying to park, and they're like, oh no, it's 1K this or that they had already explained to the guy. Temiloloyoung guy wrote the board says 200 naira. So why are you telling us 1K? But then my male friend ended up coming back and just giving the guy the 1K. It's like,
yes, and it's like they knew that if they pushed you enough, you either call somebody or you'll do it.
Exactly. And it's not like we don't have 1K, but we didn't even carry cash on us. So we're like, okay, let's transfer now. Like, they're like, no. So it's like, what do you want us to do?
So what I was even going to say, apart from a man, I was going to say like you need a friend, because like for example, there's times I want to go out, and it's not like any other country where you can just go out, sit by the bar and have a drink. Like you need one person with you. So moving here, like if you don't know anybody here, I think it might be hard. Like if you don't know anybody at all, like I think you may find it a little bit difficult to socialize. Personally,
it's true.
Because you won't want to just go out by yourself. But also Nigerians are really friendly.
Really friendly or really cliquey?
They're friendly. Like the friendship may not be honest and it may not be genuine, but they will be friendly. Like they will talk to you. Oh my god, I like your bag, I like your makeup. For that night alone, you guys be best friends. Come the next day,
everybody's like on looking.
They may be on looking, but at least for that night, I think you will have a friend. But I mean, I definitely agree that you need like a, because it's very much a table culture here.
Yeah,
it's not. Yeah, it's bottle service and like bottles and
cocktails. Who's doing that?
Yeah,
like,
you don't do that in the club. Like if you're sitting at the bar in the club, it's like you and your one friend are going on your rogue night. Like you're trying to not talk to anybody else. That's what you're going for. But you're not gonna just say, oh, I just want to go out, unless you're going to like RSVP. Then nothing.
Even RSVPs, you know what I'm just telling you. Us were drinking cocktails, so that's why they sent us to the back and told us kitchen had closed. When the guy now came and bought bottles, the matter changed. They brought so the truth, but the thing is, I even feel like I was going to say maybe it's also a financial thing, because I feel like if you have money, then you can have access. But I don't just feel like they just assume you don't even have money. You didn't even give me the opportunity to order before you
didn't give me the opportunity to flex.
Exactly.
That's flex. Yeah, that's definitely.
And then another thing is also considering like the safety of things. Like going out is, I've never had any incident.
Nigeria is not, it's not safe. Like I mean, it's safe, but it's not safe in the sense that I wouldn't necessarily recommend you as a woman by yourself driving from one end of Lagos to the other end at 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, and even now that there is like this whole curfew with the whole NSAS matter and all, it's not even only the criminals you're guarding against, it's also the police, because you violated curfew now.
Yes,
so they will use that one to their own advantage to be like, what are you doing? You must pay this, you must pay that. The other day they actually held me. I wasn't even that late, maybe like 12:30 or something. And I noticed that, they held me. And I noticed that guys are driving past. I'm like, why did you hold me? And they're just guys driving past. I now zoomed up, they were trying to cock their gun. I'm like, stay there. Is it during this NSAS period? Don't start come and kill an innocent girl.
See, I'm afraid of the police. Like, I will not be able to drive off. When I see go.
Yeah, I can't drive. Maybe because I've worked with them, but I know that it's all just a defense mechanism. Like,
okay, I've never done anything police at all in my life. Like, I'm very afraid of the police, and I'll definitely say like one thing to be aware of here is that like we don't have. If you're someone that suffers from like healthcare issues, like we don't have good healthcare, we don't have good like a police system. So don't expect to leave your laptop at Chicken Republic and go and file a police report. Because nobody's going to help you. Yeah. They'll ask you why you left your laptop there in the first place.
But they are good Samaritans, I think I have to credit that. I feel like
if it's not already stolen.
Fair.
But if it's already stolen, the chances of you being able to get anybody to get that back. You know how many iPhones I've lost? Because I've moved to this country.
Going out and all.
I've lost so many iPhones.
Me, wedding is where they're always stealing
your stuff.
I feel like the dressing culture going out here is very different from like going out like in England and in America. I feel like we do the most here. Really? Like even when my friend from Netherlands came, she was like, wow, like the makeup that we do to go out is like, that's like how wedding makeup. For her, she would just do eyeliner and keep it moving. But us, we're doing full beats like every day. So it's like I feel like we make a point.
Yeah, I would definitely say like if you're coming tonight, like stack your bags up.
Yeah.
Stack up your bags. Like you're gonna go out and do so many things that like you will even feel like you're repeating. Like you start to feel self-conscious because you're like, crap, I wore this last week. I was even talking to one of my friends and she's like, she's not going out anymore. It's not because she doesn't want to go. I said she's finished her clothes. She was like, my clothes are finished. Like, I don't have anything else to wear. And also like every single day you have to dress up. Like in London you can do more like corner store running and like saying or whatever country, like nobody really knows you. Here the bubble is so small. True. That like you can go to Delhi's and see 6 people and one of them is the guy that you like.
I think Lagos is definitely worse in that regard. Like to me in Abuja, like I didn't have that experience. Like I didn't feel like I had to buff up all the time or
no, I get
like
that.
You know that streets were watching. But in Lagos, every day I wear like a bit of foundation just because like you never know who you see. Like
and it's true, you actually never know who you see. Like the amount of times I've bumped into people, not expecting to see them and looking crap. I'm like,
yeah.
But masks have really helped, Sha. Masks have really helped. Okay, but do you regret moving back to Lagos?
No way, no how. Like, no regrets whatsoever. Like, the quality of my life is definitely better
than Abuja?
Oh, I thought you meant like moving from...
Well, both. Do you regret moving from England or do you regret moving from Abuja?
Moving from Abuja, I won't say I regret yet, but I won't lie, I went back to Abuja like 2 weeks ago and I'm like, Kai, life was sweet here. Like, it's so relaxed. Like, it's so relaxed. But then I love... Me, it depends what stage you are as well. Yeah. I went to Abuja with the whole NGO mindset, so that was the perfect place for me. That's where I can get the most value from the work I was trying to do. But then when I was now ready to start making money, to chase that money, Lagos is the place to be. I know the amount of opportunities I get, just you run into somebody, you're just there talking, and it's like, because I was saying as well, it's such a small circle, like everybody kind of knows everybody. Like the other day we went out, I ended up, my CEO was there, like the guy I was gonna have an interview with, and he's like, what? Like, so just like that, you can run into somebody. So I feel like this is where it's right for me for the stage I'm at. It's because I'm trying to hustle, it's because I'm trying to chase.
Do you think it's competitive here though? Like, do you find that you're constantly like, do you find that Lagos makes you want to overachieve?
Of course, but that's a good thing.
Is it?
Yeah, because it keeps me on my A game, Sha. I feel like, you know, in Abuja, I was getting a bit too comfortable. There's even something I used to say which I've never said publicly, and maybe somebody will come and insult me now, but I always used to feel like I had reached the peak in Abuja. Like I felt like I knew everybody.
There was nothing.
Like there was not like one more is gonna happen. Like you know, I felt like Abuja. It was so easy to kind of
do what you wanted. You wanted a challenge.
Yeah, I wanted a challenge. Whereas in Lagos, I feel like there are big Lagos babes. I'm not even anybody in this Lagos. Like I need to.
I see what you mean.
I need to get to that level. Like you get like so. I love it.
I mean, I definitely would say like for the weaker-minded people, like. It's definitely a challenge. Like I know that when I first moved back, I moved back in 2016. So I remember 2017. I put in my video that went up on Monday, obviously 2 days ago before this one is going up. I spoke about my weight gain journey and I spoke about how like 2017 I lost a lot of weight because I was overthinking. What am I going to do? What am I doing? Like what is my life goal? What's my life plan? How am I going to make money? How much money am I going to be making? You know, how am I going to set a name for myself? How am I going to do this, do that? And I was just using all my brain and my calories to think. So I feel like moving back to Lagos has taught me to be content. To be content daily, but also to strive for more. Yeah. So if you're not somebody that's like naturally content and you're very like, you're always looking at the next person, in Lagos, you have a lot of things to look at. Like, you will be looking and it will make you feel
some type of way. Do you know, even before we started the video, you had said what we were going to talk about was things to know before moving. And the first thing I thought to myself was know yourself. And I feel like it's kind of the same thing you're saying. Like, you need to know yourself. Because even me too, as I was moving to Lagos, I was already feeling like some pressure. Like, I'm not rocking designer up and down. I'm not driving G-Wagon. Like, I'm already feeling like I'm going to be a small girl in Lagos. Yes. But I have to know myself, like, and I have to just.
It's okay to be a small girl.
Yeah, like that's the thing. I'm okay with my Corolla. Like, so I have to get to that point, and that's part of why I went back home to PH for Christmas, because I felt like, let me go back to my roots.
Yeah,
and really just remember who I am before I now move to this big bad city and you know, start chasing the dream that everybody is chasing. If not, it's very easy to lose yourself in this place, man.
Very, very. Because we were even talking about financial expectations. You guys will see in the blog.
In the blog, yeah.
And how like are your financial expectations realistic? And it's like, yeah, but you just really, really want more. Like, you just actually want the best for yourself, and you want more, and it's about competing with yourself and not competing with the next person. But this country, this city can make you compete with the next person, and you won't even realize when you're like, oh, wow, this is not even my path.
Yeah, exactly.
But have you found it easy to make friends since you come here?
No. But I don't know if it's COVID, I don't know what it is, but I just feel like I'm not really meeting anyone.
You're not meeting anyone that you think is of like mind, or you're just not meeting anyone?
I'm not meeting anyone, and it's this cliquey thing that we're saying. Like, we go out, and I stick to the people I went out with. I don't go there and start meeting people. Well, yesterday I feel like, okay, maybe we met someone, met people, we mingled, but I think that's because the event was almost at the end. If that was the beginning of the event, everything was.
And also, the girl herself was friendly.
True.
Like, sometimes you meet people and they just don't really want to talk, and it's like, oh, okay, I'm not going to force it. And also, you two, you're raising shoulder back now.
Like,
nobody will beg you. So everybody in Lagos, that's another thing. Like, we like to.
Forming.
There's a lot of forming here. But food is expensive. Accommodation, do you find accommodation easy? So another thing is, if you're going to come back here and live alone, that one stuff is so headache.
Yeah.
Because finding a place is not always easy. A lot of places don't want to rent to a single person, a single woman.
Let's be specific.
They don't want to rent to a single woman because they feel like you're not going to be able to pay your bills, or like chasing you for rent is going to be difficult. So a lot of times you end up having to like have a guy sort of go in front of you or go with you, or have your parents help you or something. So that can be very frustrating. So be prepared if you're coming back to look for accommodation that they may try to frustrate you a little bit. And housing prices here aren't exactly the cheapest either. I would say living in Nigeria is expensive if you want to live alone and you want to have like a nice place. So
in a nice area,
So I would definitely say like also like make sure that you save appropriately before you come here. Like, don't just move to Lagos empty, because you will actually struggle. At least at first, you'll struggle.
Do you know, actually, what you're saying just making me think. One of my friends told me 5 things to know.
I think you told me this.
Before you move to Lagos.
Yeah, and they were good.
You need to have a source of income, so you need to know where you're going to be getting your money from. You need to have a source of food, because food is so expensive. Like, food is one of the easiest ways to drain your money here, especially because there are so many restaurants, so many takeaway spots, you know. There's always an opportunity for you to try something new. So you need to have food. You need to have your people, like, you know, because a lot of people as well in Lagos are kind of like fake. I don't know if that's the right word, but it's not what you see that you should take. Like, there's a lot going on behind the scenes as well. So know your genuine people, the people that have your back. And then you need to have a constant dick.
When you say constant dick, someone you trust, a way of feeding, income,
and there's one more.
I think it was constant dick.
Yeah, like because another thing is like circles are so small, and your gist, you can't do low-key moves. Your gist will be on road. So better just have the one that you're sticking to, and you know that last everybody knows that that's your guy.
Yes, and when you're ready to move to the new one, just prepare for the room.
Exactly.
She has moved on to a new dick. But they will definitely talk about it. Yeah. So you need to also, I would definitely say, get thick skin.
Yeah. Before you come here, like for sure. You need to be, especially if you're trying to be a popping person, you're trying to actually do something that's going to cause people to talk about you.
Or if you want to do any kind of influence, any public figure, media, anything, then you definitely need to.
For the gist that will follow.
Develop some guys. Aqua and I can sit here and do many story times.
I swear about the gist that we not only hear about ourselves but also each other.
Yeah. Aqua come with Lolo.
Like Like, is this real? Nah, it's crazy.
It's crazy.
I'm actually happy we didn't meet in Abuja, we met in England, but I feel like I'm happy we met before we moved back. If not,
yes,
it may have been different.
Yeah, because I wouldn't have been able to. It's also like another thing is like, this is gonna sound bad, but like other babes may not want you to like have friends. So they were like poison.
Oh, fair.
They poison other babes. Like, so you can be somewhere and like, this Afro babe posted this. I beg that babe.
Yeah.
And they will like poison that person against you, and you'll be like, so if you don't know the person, you yourself, you stay away from her. Drama. Not realizing that actually you are the problem.
Yeah.
Like, if you can, I would definitely say you need a side hustle. You can't survive here on one income. No matter what job you have, you need another income. Like, either have something you're selling, something you're making, or because they don't really pay well in Nigeria. So it's not just a Lagos thing. They don't really pay well here, so you can't really survive. Man,
do you know even that we were talking about this income thing, and on the video where I said 500k is not enough, somebody left a comment saying, like, they basically equated it to pounds and were like, what do you mean? How can you say this is not enough? And I'm like, the value.
It's like £1,000, I mean.
Yeah, or something.
The value here.
The value you get for that 500k can compare to what you would get in.
Listen, if you decide you want to just buy a table for your house, 120k of your money is good.
It's gone. Like, that's the thing. Like,
people don't understand. Lagos is expensive. Like, the expenses here are high.
And there's like so many costs. Like, so many hidden costs. Like, I don't know. I feel like in England, even just getting around is cheaper. Like,
I don't know if I would say it's cheap. Because by the time by the time you spend taxes, it's probably cheaper to move around here, but
maybe because they have public transport.
They have public transport, so you have options. Like you have to pay. You have to either get in an Uber or drive. Like, there's no, I'm just gonna catch the bus.
She's not even walking on the street. What am I walking on the street for? Like, the other day, I was walking on the bridge. Police came down while I was filming. I'm not supposed to film on the bridge.
That's really ridiculous.
Like, is this not a public bridge?
Yeah.
So there are so many, like,
not even that. So first of all, it's so hot.
True.
That the perfume you want to go and see the guy.
True.
And by the time you get there, you ask whether you're coming from the
market. True. That.
You just look so crusty and disgusting that it will just be like, oh, I beg. So definitely, I would say like, sort out your funding for your transport and your food. Sort out your accommodation, which is expensive. Sort out another source of income apart from your 9-to-5 job or whatever job it is that you're doing. Try and like reach out to people before you get here, like people that you can hang out with, like introduce yourself and be like, hey, like, I know it seems like putting yourself out there, but it's better than being here and being alone.
Yeah.
Just reach out to them like, oh, I see that you live in Lagos, I'm about to move to Lagos, like, can you show me around or like whatever? And I'm sure they'll be happy. Like, Nigerian people like that kind of push.
But that's what I was just thinking. Like, I was thinking the rate of loneliness is so much lower here. I feel like it's easier to be lonely like when you're away, like abroad or something, because everybody really just kind of keeps to themselves. Like,
even here, everybody goes to the same places.
Yes.
You can even lie that you're coming to meet your friend RSVP on Friday. Like, only that no friend is coming to meet you, but you'll bump into
someone there. I swear.
It's like going to tell you to escape.
I swear. But beware of scam too. As you just mentioned, scam.
Yeah, beware of scam.
I'm like, okay, there are so many scammers. Like, not even
Instagram scammers.
Like, business people will scam you, workers will scam you, like
carpenters will run away with your money.
So
vendors will tell you, okay, you can come and buy this thing, deliveries today, they'll delete their Instagram.
I'm dead. Wow.
That's happened to me. My carpenter still owing me 75k.
Wow.
Money's disappeared. So yeah, scammers, like, especially before you rent anything, buy anything, like, make sure that you do your due diligence, because you get here, you rent a place, and you get here and you find yourself.
I think that's the word. Due diligence. I swear.
Do your due diligence and your like research. Another thing is for girls, shopping. It's not that easy to shop here.
Yeah.
We don't have top shops, something as in Nigeria. If you're not from here, we don't have top shops. We don't have River Island. We don't have Zara. So there's a lot of Instagram vendors, but they don't do exchanges and refunds. And I spoke about this in my Risque Boutique vlog. Like, you can't return things. So I would say buy in bulk from wherever you're coming from. I know they have a lot of good fashion in Ghana. So if you're coming from there, bring your clothes
They
down.
have good fashion in Nigeria.
No, but it's expensive. You can't sustain your whole wardrobe.
Fair.
Do you know what I mean? Like, you can't go to like, is it back you want to go and buy 200k?
Okay, in that case,
I'm talking about like the H&M tees and those basic things that you need and wear all the time. You're not gonna find it here.
Yes, underwear.
Oh my god, yes, you can't buy underwear here. Unless it's lingerie.
I have been searching, exploring, what is the word, like looking everywhere. I cannot find underwear, and it's just like, unless you go to the market. But that's another thing. I think that also maybe we too may not be getting the full Nigerian experience, because I believe that how often do you go to the market to buy clothes?
Never.
And I think that there's a whole thing there, we're calling it thrifting these days, but
to be fair, I will say this. I film with Red TV, and it's in Marina, so it's near Bellow Market, and we have to go through that side every time.
Okay.
And there are times when I'm with my friend, as you guys know, Ada, who does Red TV with me. We'll be driving by and we'll look at someone and be like, this dress is actually nice. This thing is actually nice, But the markets are so hot, and with Corona and COVID, it's not that easy to, Nigeria hasn't really taken COVID as seriously as I think it should, personally. So people don't really wear masks, there's none of that. So going to the market,
distancing,
so going to the market, going to the market is not always easy. I've been a few times, but
it's not the same, because even when I go to the market, I have a guy there. So maybe I'll just sit down in one shop, and then it's actually the guy that's going around doing the thing for me. And that's another thing you should know. You need a guy everywhere, or a babe. I just mean you need a person. You have a babe in the market, you have a babe in the supermarket, you have a babe that is even just roaming around on your streets that can help you with little things. Collaboration is key in this place. Don't think you can come and do everything on your own.
I agree.
You need somebody everywhere. Passport office, you need somebody. Take your passport picture, you need somebody.
Definitely need somebody.
As in anything you want to do, you need somebody. Even if you can drive, you need a driver that you can just call for, your little odds and ends. You need a bike guy. You need you just need to know people. It's not an independent place.
Because the country is so vast and broad that you can't. If you say you want to go to the mainland and still do something on the app, you have to pick one. You can't make it everywhere at the same time, so you actually need somebody that's going to go and do things.
And it's so funny when you were talking about how the country is. I just thought the things that computers do in England or abroad, human beings are still doing them here. What,
handwriting? Name, dates, input number. Nothing is electronic. So everything kind of moves a little bit slower here as well.
And you just need to relate with people. It's not you can't just be behind your computer and do everything you want to do. If you're even doing anything in the bank now, let's say, you should be able to do a lot of stuff you want from your app now. But it's faster to just call somebody and be like, please do this transfer for me, or do this or that. So you just need to be
There was even a meme I saw where it said I think it was during quarantine, when they were like, you have the same 24 hours in a day as Beyonce, so achieve or whatever. And I just remember thinking, okay, yes, the same 24 hours, but Beyonce is not in Lagos traffic. Beyonce doesn't have to deal with whether there's lights or no lights. Beyonce doesn't have to deal with whether or not her whole street is flooded. Beyonce doesn't have to. She doesn't even have to set up her things to film her video. You just remember that things can be a little bit more difficult here, but you have to be patient.
Even what you were just saying just made me think about when you were talking about how was it moving back, and I just remembered when we moved back was when Uber first got to Abuja, and I was so happy because I just kept thinking to myself, I wonder what I would have done. Before, I don't even know how people used to go around. Obviously we were a child before we left, but I used to rely on family driver. But there was nothing like Uber, and to use regular taxis,
it's not the same.
It's not the same as black cab, it's
that's another thing. Public transport here, you need to know that. It's not public transport. It's just transport.
It kills me because I think there's also something the pay gap. It's not really the pay gap, but the contrast, because there's super rich Nigerians and there's also
the rich keep getting richer and getting poorer.
So it's
and during that instance thing, it was very, very scary, because I even had to start telling my friends, I was like, all of you guys are shouting at the government, you are a rich man to somebody. So just be careful. You think just because you're not driving a G-Wagon, your Corolla is a G-Wagon to somebody. And that person, when the country frustrates them enough and they don't have access to the governor. It's you they're coming for.
So true.
So like also remember that try and help your own community before you keep inciting violence. Like, yes, go out and burn this, go and do this, go and do that. Because literally, when they cannot burn Aso Rock and they cannot burn Tinubu's house, they are coming to your own house.
Is that not what they did? They want shops on Admiralty Way and who suffered?
The people, exactly. So it's like you guys need to understand. People need to understand that in this country, like you have to be your brother's keeper. Like you actually have to look out for the people around you.
Yeah.
Because that's like it really takes a village to survive here. Like your gates man, your nanny, the guy that sweeps the street, the guy, like these people, you need to actually have some sort of relationship with them because it's your community. And if you're not quite willing to invest in your community, then you might find it really difficult to find these people that Akko is talking about. Like these people that are down to help you and down to like if you run out of water, they'll walk down the street and buy the water for you. Right. Because you've been there, it's like give and take, like you've been there for them as well. So if you're always staying at home, you're driving your car and your AC every day, you don't even try and help anybody, you don't even dash anybody small 1K or anything. When you need something, nobody's going to look at you. Nobody will look at you by yourself.
It just made me think about another night out essential, carry cash.
Yeah.
Carry cash. Because you're gonna need to tip anywhere you park. It's not meters that you're paying human beings who are also parking for you and watching your car for you. So it's like the same thing we're talking about. Human beings are doing the work of machines.
And not only that, like the way we park in Nigeria, you park anyway. Like just put your car and just park it. So you also need to be you also need to make sure these people are actually going to look out for your car. They're actually going to look out for your car because like I said, it's on the side of the road. And in Nigeria, they steal engines, they steal wind side mirrors, they steal tires, they steal rims of your car. So
the other time I was even driving a Mercedes, they stole the emblem, the Mercedes thing itself, and I'm like,
yeah.
I didn't even know that thing, like you could go and resell it or something. When I was now buying it was 30K. I'm like, oh, wow. What is one of your favorite things about being back home, aside from family?
I think I have a better quality of life. Like I think my quality of life is better,
But be even more specific. So let me say mine and then
okay.
For me, it's doing my hair. As in, even to loosen my hair now, I can call somebody that will come and do it for me.
Yeah, okay.
But I feel like it's so it used to be so difficult doing my hair when I was abroad. Yeah, because it's like, first of all, you have to do everything yourself there. Secondly, it's so expensive. You can pay £45 for cornrows that you can give them 2K in this Nigeria.
Okay, that's true. That's true. It's expensive.
So I feel like doing your hair is just
my nails. Like I just stopped doing my nails in London. I was like, I'm not going to pay £50 for acrylics.
So
then if I want to fix one, you tell me to go and bring another £30. No thanks. So I actually stopped doing my nails. Actually, maybe that's a good one. But I think maybe it would be food.
Oh yeah.
I think it would be food. Like you have more access to food.
True. Well, to the kind of food that we enjoy.
That you like, and not just access to food, like access to assistance with food. Like you don't have to do everything yourself. Somebody can sort of help take the load off. I felt like when I was in London, especially when I was living alone, I literally was doing everything by myself. Like I had to keep my house tidy, I had to feed myself, I had to cook because I couldn't eat out all the time. I had to do my laundry, wash my I know this is normal, like you're supposed to do this by yourself, but when you're coming from a place where it's natural to have assistance, it was really hard for me. Like boarding school, adjusting to that in boarding school was really, really hard for me.
Oh, were you a day student Oh, I was in boarding school.
So when I went to boarding school, I was like, what is this? I mean, another thing I love about living here is I think COVID has really changed what living in Lagos means. But prior to COVID, I loved the weddings.
Oh yeah.
I love that wedding culture. I love the whole ashrebi, getting dressed up, putting something putting something, and it just made it was a very regal. It's a very regal attire. Your makeup has to be extra, plus your gilly. Yeah. The fabric is so rich and so it was almost like going to a gala every weekend, like a ball. And I actually really, really enjoyed. Oh, I want to talk about dating here as well.
Oh, dating.
Yes. Your experiences dating in Lagos. Would you say dating in Lagos is hard? Would you say Lagos? Okay, do you believe in the thing that Lagos men cheating us?
Yeah, I think they are, and maybe it's also because of the experience I had when I came back.
Okay.
The first person I dated was a Lagos big boy. Oh. So yeah. dear.
And it's stressed
I will not do it again. That's it. I will not do it again.
Stressed your
If you
life.
could take me back, I would have looked for a nice, quiet guy. Like, so it's not fair to say that, you know, all Nigeria, because I dated someone else after that who didn't cheat. So, you know, it's not a hard and fast thing. But I would say dating is sweeter here. Like, back then it was more like I feel like you get closer to your partner abroad. The dynamics are different. I feel like I can't be as close to somebody in Nigeria.
Because there's more couple activities.
And you guys can just kind of be in your own bubble as well. You know how we're saying over there is kind of lonely. You tend to just drown yourself into like your one person, like. And I feel like maybe because we were not around our parents, Misha, I was basically living with my guy in uni and all, so it was nice. But then when I came back here, it's more so like trips. Like, what's fun for you guys is going for dinner or traveling, or they'll buy you something. Actually having conversations, bruv, like it's not the same. So
so that's the thing about dating. Like, it's not necessarily easy. Like, especially for guys here. Like, unless the guy is in a serious committed relationship or he's married, he's dating.
Even when he's married, he's dating, babe.
No, but at that point, you can hold him to something.
Oh, fair.
If the guy has not said this is until you can be his girlfriend. He's calling you his girlfriend. He's still open until he starts calling her, this is my wife. And you can now say, okay, he's taking me serious. Prior to that, in fact, you ask him why he's on another baby who insults you. Like, why are you questioning him? That's how Nigerian men are. Not all, but a lot. And I also think the Nigerian girls were savage.
Like how?
We don't take nonsense. Like, at least now in the recent years, it's like you guys want to be on road. Us two are dating until you propose now. Do you not agree?
No, I wouldn't say.
You don't?
Well, to be honest,
If
I don't think babes are owning it. I think they are doing it on a low. I don't think babes are owning it. I know babes are definitely on road doing those things, but they are doing it. They are living double life. Like,
but I won't even call it being on road as a woman, because I feel like if a guy is talking to you, okay, he's texting you Monday, maybe Wednesday, why are you now putting yourself off the market for that person? Fair. He's not even texting you all the time. He's not calling you. You guys are not seeing each other all the time. You're just checking up on each other every couple of days. That's not your boyfriend now.
Fair.
So if you do go on a date, I don't really think that's a bad thing.
Yeah. Do you know me? I had a situation last year. There's this guy I was seeing. He told me him and his girlfriend had broken up. Next thing, I see them at a house party together. So obviously you're not broken up. But what blew my mind is that me and him were dating, like, we're out publicly. Like, it's not as if he used to hide me. So how did you do that? Like,
but that's because that guy's friends too. They're in on it. That's the thing. Like, don't think Nigerian guys just because they're friends say, our wife, you're our wife number 9.
I swear, I swear.
Like, it doesn't mean anything. So dating in Lagos is cutthroat. So see what I was even saying. Like, you would think, oh my god, he took me to Zimba on a Friday night. Everybody was there, like, Saturday night, he still did same Zimba with the other babe, and they're still going to look at him and look at her, and nobody's going to say anything. So yeah, and I'll definitely say, like, you need to have a confidant. Somebody that you can actually really, really trust. The person doesn't even have to be here. But if you're going to live here, you need to have a confidant. Like, so many things are going to happen that you just need to be able to just ask people for advice. And just ask, like, just bounce things off them and be like, okay, what do you think about this? Is this good? Is this bad? Like, should I post this picture? Should I not post this picture? Like, can you wingman me going out with this guy? Like, you always need support. I don't think this is somewhere that you can just come and be like, I'm moving to Lagos by myself and I don't need anybody. You won't really enjoy it. To enjoy the full thing of Nigeria, I think you need some, like, support or some friendship or just some sisterhood, maybe. But yeah, I think that's pretty much like what we've learned from moving here. Like, you guys know my Make Up Your Mind videos. I like to just kind of like be raw and throw my thoughts out there, like how I'm really feeling. So I think at the moment I'm feeling I think with Corona, my idea of Nigeria has changed, or is changing a little bit, and I'm trying to figure out whether or not this country has the same pros for me it had before, or whether my pros have changed. And if my pros have changed, have my cons now become pros? Have I, like, evolved into a new level? So I actually think that Corona was good in that I found myself, I figured out what I wanted to do, and Lagos became a lot less daunting for somebody like me. I don't know if you can say.
For me, it was even like Corona that encouraged me to move to Lagos and like opened my eye to how much potential there is in Lagos. Because I feel like if you're from Nigeria or you know of Nigeria, you know that Lagos is like the public place. Abuja is more government. Port Harcourt is more oil, business, like, but nothing else goes on there. So those are the three main cities. And I always felt like Lagos, everybody has already overcrowded it. But even with the crowd, there's still so much opportunity. Like, there's still room for me. So I feel like, yeah, I've never felt like there was any con involved in moving back. Like,
okay. I mean, for me, I think I didn't really touch on what my main con was. I'm quite like you guys know, like I can sit here and talk about, I can have a video for the first 40 minutes of just chatting crap because my brain works that way. I felt that Lagos kind of dampened my creativity a little bit and it boxed me. For a while I felt boxed. I felt like I had to be able to say, my name is Temiloloyoung and this is who I am and this is what I do. And it got to a point where I was like, well, why do I have to pigeonhole myself into one thing? Because I'm a vlogger, I'm a content creator, I am a lawyer, I'm a beauty enthusiast, I'm an entrepreneur, I'm all these things. So why should I have to give you one thing that I do? And that's kind of how I felt when I moved here, because Lagos makes you like highlight your selling points when it's okay to have multiple selling points, and it's okay to put all your energy in this and then take a break from this and put your energy in that, as long as you're being true to yourself. So that's the only thing, like that's why I like them. I have some really, really creative friends and I like hanging out with them because I like people that see past the ceiling and like I don't see, Nigel, please I need to marry you, I want to do this. You know, my goal is not just a nice house in Ikoyi. My goal is a nice house in the Hidden Hills. My goal is a nice house in several different places. So this country can make you feel like I just need to hammer, I just need to make that 100M. I just like, and then you start thinking your whole life, you start planning your whole life in Nigeria. And I felt like that's what was happening to me. I was like, okay, everything is here, but then now I've come out of my shell more with Corona, and I'm like, there's more outside here. So you have to remember that. That's why people get out of Lagos so much. There's more to do than just Nigeria. And so when you come here, remember to bring the things that you've learned from wherever you're coming from here. Like, people are always open to hearing from other people from different countries or different cultures. Like, that's what makes Nigeria and Lagos in particular so exciting. So don't feel like you need to leave your old life. Bring your old life here and merge the two. That's what I would say.
Yeah, for me it's just be resilient, because the country will frustrate you and it may dampen your spirits, as you said, but you just need to keep pushing.
What's that wind?
As in that wind, like,
oh, that was mad.
Like, but the country will frustrate you. Like, there's so many like steps of frustration. Like, even once you land at the check-in point, like at the security point, you're already going to face frustration there. On the way home, traffic, you will enter this. Like, so I feel like there's so much frustration, but then you know that whole thing about how you can't get to the good without bad. Like, you need to
even like Akku's video that she did about trying to do content creation, we almost got arrested. Like, that's in itself.
You feel like but no, to me it's like, I feel like Lagos encourages me to just keep going, like to keep hustling, to keep trying, to keep pushing, and I hope that the success story will be shown on the vlog one day. But I know it has click, like, you know, because so many people have also made it from this very Lagos that we're talking about. Like, there's so much money here, there's so much like creativity here. Like, that's how I was like, when you said they dampened your creativity, I was like, really? Because I don't feel like
it dampened my creativity in the sense that, like, when I first moved back, like, at least for me, the kind of content that I loved creating at first was Nigerians just weren't into it. And I just felt like, okay, but I don't want to change who I am. So I stopped being creative in that way. I started trying to cater to my audience when I switched it back, and I was like, actually, if you like me, you like me, and then you attract people that actually mess with you. So you can get into the rat race and the numbers game of like, oh my god, I just want more followers, I want to do this, and I want to do. And then actually, when you stop and you just start enjoying it again, it then becomes organic and things just start to happen.
That's true.
I think maybe that's what I meant by dampen my creativity. It changed my path.
Fair,
But yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Like, I can't say that we both know, because we haven't lived here long enough to say, this is Lagos like this, and we've just both started living on our own, so I think we're both having a new experience of Lagos that's very, very different to the experiences we had before. So maybe we'll do another one of these in like a year and be like, okay, this is what it is to live alone by yourself in Lagos. But
until then, please watch our vlogs, because we'll be showing you
what's going on.
Yeah.
So, we're just kind of here to like, I think with Akon, I just like to like share information and tell you guys the real. That is not all glitz and glam, but Lagos.
But in
is
one
fun.
word, would you encourage someone to move to Lagos? Same. Yeah.
Like definitely, like
Same.
there's, like I said, the quality of life here is just much better for me.
Incomparable.
Incomparable. But yeah, that's pretty much it, and I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. And if you've watched this video without watching Aku's, then make sure you go watch that next.
Yes, please.
And obviously the link will be down below. And if you want to see more collabs, more videos, obviously comment down below. You know I reply your comments. And yeah, I'll see you guys on Instagram, or I'll see you guys on Friday.
Bye.
Bye.